Hello. Beep, 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 and welcome to the court of the Edijester once again, and I hope that you are all incredibly well. Here. Do you remember Catch-22? Who remembers that, Catch-22? It was a novel that was written in 1961 by a guy called Joseph Heller. And it was the story, it's become a catchword, Catch-22, a sort of a way to explain something simply, in that you're in a situation where you are stuck between two impossible things and therefore can't get out of it. It's like a bureaucratic nightmare. In the particular case of the book, Catch-22, there was a great film with Alan Arkin as well. On the book, you were, in order to avoid flying missions, combat missions in the old warage, right, you could claim insanity. But written into the rules was that requesting to be grounded demonstrated sanity, right? Therefore, you couldn't get out of it, right? So if you said, I can't fly, I'm insane, they'd say, yeah, but demonstrating the fact that you don't want to fly is actual sanity. See, Catch-22. You can't get out of it. It's something that can't be sort of worked around, or it's an impossible bureaucratic position. There's a kind of Catch-22 going on right now with Ofcom, the off censors, as I've come into calling them now, because they're just a bunch of withers. Now, as well as giving everybody this vile law, the government, they've also put Ofsted in charge of the damn thing. Now, before we get started, a bit more to come yet. Come be a warrior teacher. All right, we'll start in October. Buy me a coffee, Substack. Anything you can do to help me out would be really, really appreciated right now. Yeah, if you could. So, Catch-22. So we've already got this revolting Online Safety Act, which has caused no end of trouble. Watching them go after 4chan is hilarious, right? Absolutely hilarious. During the lockdown, when that George Floyd bloke died, right, and everybody lost their mind to BLM, 4chan, right, were involved in that, interestingly enough. And I know this because I uncovered it for some people I had to work for. There was a project that went round within a day, and the project was called #ShutDownSTEM. And the idea was that you would shut down STEM, shut down the sciences and universities, and go and learn about white privilege and all the usual critical race theory rubbish, right? And it worked. 30,000 academics signed up for it. And it turned out it was a hoax from 4chan, right? These people do not mess about. So Ofcom have gone, well, we're going to fine you X, Y, Z unless you start behaving yourselves and doing what we want you to do. And 4chan, which isn't even based in the UK, have said, go on, off you pop, you bunch of censorious backseat drivers, and I've told them to F off, right? Which is quite right. I hope Trump gets his temper on with this one and really starts to deal with the behaviour of the British government under Starmer. You don't mess with 4chan. These are some of the smartest people on the planet. There was a video a few years back of a woman chucking a cat in a bin. Anybody remember that? Chucking a cat in a bin. Vile behaviour. Picked up this cat, put it in a bin. Right? Horrible woman. They found her. Within a couple of days, they'd found her. These are very clever, forensic individuals. So going after 4chan, Starmer, and your cronies probably isn't a good idea. Because I imagine right now, they're digging to find out what they can about you and your censorious regime. That could be very interesting indeed. Back to the Catch-22. The Catch-22 here is this. Ofcom are now doing a Motte and Bailey, right? They've left the Bailey. They're now in the Motte, all armed up, right? They've done a Motte and Bailey. When they first came storming out, we've already seen them censor stuff they don't like, censor GC content, various other things that people can't see. It's an attack on free speech, a full-blooded attack on free speech. Europe are even more insane because they're about to ask for spyware to be installed on every single device so that they can record everything before it goes anywhere else, i.e. to get around the encryption thing. Yeah, it's that mad. And there's still people on our side cheering it on. You're nuts, right? So they said now, they've done a Motte and Bailey, a bit of a reverse ferret, right? So they've said, we'll fine you millions and millions of pounds or 10% of your turnover, whatever it is, if you don't comply with what we're telling you, except we're not going to tell you what it is you have to comply with. Right, we're just going to give you some fuzzy definitions. They've now come out and said. And if you interfere with free speech, we'll fine you again as well. So you've got to take off this stuff, which we've not told you what you have to take off, because we're not quite sure ourselves. And if you take off that stuff and you take off the wrong stuff, we're going to fine you. So if you don't take off the stuff, we'll fine you. And if you do take off the stuff, we'll fine you. That's the situation. What do you think that's called? That kind of double bind. It's a catch-22 to a certain degree. But what else do you think it's called? The kind of double bind that causes? Authoritarianism. That's what it is. Don't do this. We're not going to tell you what it is you shouldn't do. And don't do this. We're not going to tell you what it is you shouldn't do. Can you imagine dealing with a child like that? Do you understand how dark the mind of the people who did this is? I don't know. How dark do you have to be to think that's okay? How dark do you have to be to think it's okay to do that? To put people in that kind of double bind. It's one of the most extraordinary things I've ever seen. Go and have a look. You don't believe me? Go and find out. And if you're still supporting this, God help you. Right? Because I'm meeting with the WRN soon. I've had conversations with other people. There's all the organisations, Sex Matters, everybody, all doing their thing, which is fantastic. But they won't be doing it for very long if they don't deal with a censorious government. Because this is above everything. This isn't partisan. This is not political. It doesn't matter whether you're left or right. There's no political battle to have here. This is an assault upon freedom of speech, and by its very nature, an assault upon freedom of thought. And we all have a vested interest in ensuring this does not remain in power. It has to go. So you can still carry on doing what you're doing and, doing the stuff you're doing. Brilliant. Great. Okay. But they'll undo it all because eventually they'll just stop you. They'll stop you through threats, or you'll be one of the 30 that's been arrested every day for speech. Yeah, or sacked from your job. By not fighting this, we as a movement, I would say, you may disagree, are handing them a victory. While we're still scrabbling around talking about the same old stuff. If we don't stop this, if we don't end the possibility of censorship of the internet in any format whatsoever, if we don't end it, then we will end up on that spear. I promise you. Because that's how the game works. It's got nothing to do with protecting children, nothing to do with anything else. It is about protecting government and protecting the narrative, whatever that narrative may be, from being criticised. And right now, silence on that allows it to grow. Get your crash helmets on. We're going to need it. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.